I wore the new Google Fitbit Air and the Apple Watch at the same time for 2 weeks. And I specifically timed my test to be around my period and travel. And what the Google Fitbit Air told me about my body during this time, my Apple Watch has never said to me once. So we need to talk about this. Look, I'm just a girl. I work mostly at my desk. I hate running and I hate the gym. Every tech reviewer that I have seen for this thing have been bringing down the specs, but let's be so for real right now. Most of those reviewers are gym bro dudes who are tracking every single optimization metric that there is out there. So the Google Fitbit Air is entirely screenless. There's just this little sensor thing right in here. It doesn't light up. It doesn't send you a billion notifications. It just sits there on your wrist and collects health data. The only time it's actually gonna vibrate is if you set an alarm, which I've done a couple times, but I found myself just turning it off and going back to bed. Google pretty much designed this thing to be a direct competitor of Whoop. Instead of trapping you in a massive monthly subscription fee, this right here is a flat $99. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of everything being a freaking subscription. So that's why I had to try this little guy out. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you which one of these two I'm actually still wearing today. So these are gonna be the 5 categories that I'm gonna judge these two on: sleep, workouts, comfort, smart feature, and battery life. The first thing I want to talk about is sleep. I'm somebody that's always struggled with sleep, and both of these things do track your stages, your restlessness, and then gives you a chart in the morning, which is really nice. But the Google Fitbit Air suggests activities based on how well my body actually recovered from the rest it got the night before. But I really did start feeling like it was connecting my sleep to everything else that was going on inside my body. My Apple Watch kind of just gives me a score and is like, have a good day. Unless there's something about it that I'm missing. But as far as I know, and for as long as I've had this, that's all it's done. So pretty much the Google Fitbit Air helped me further understand why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. So I didn't hit any intentional workouts during this period, but I was traveling and I was walking a lot, like a lot. And both of these did track my heart rate, my step count, my calories burn count, and you know, like the standard stuff. But there was something that I noticed when I was in the airport. The arm that had the Google Fitbit Air was pushing the suitcase and the Apple Watch was just free to swing around. So when I got to the gate, I wanted to compare the step counts in both of the apps, and the Apple Watch had counted significantly more than the Google Fitbit Air. Because if it was off by a little bit, I'd be like, okay, step count's off, but no, it was off. So I think this missed some of the steps it was trying to count. I don't really know. So for the workout category, I'm gonna have to say the Apple Watch wins this one. And also the Apple Watch ecosystem just makes sense to me, because if you're gonna go do a workout, you just quick punch it in right here. But if you're gonna do a workout on here, you have to open your phone, open the app, start the workout, and then go. Comfort is massive for me. If it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it. So make sure you subscribe if you're the same way, because I need to know how many of us baddies are in here. But the second I took the Fitbit Air out of the box, that was the first thing that I noticed was how light it was. And over the course of the 2 weeks, I started to notice how chunky my Apple Watch is feeling day after day after day. For comfort, the Fitbit Air wins. So if you are deep in the Apple ecosystem, like me, you already know that this is where the Apple Watch actually pulls ahead. Notifications, you got Siri. She literally responded. You can reply to your text messages. You can use Apple Pay just by going ding. It's all so impressive, okay? Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it does feel like a lot. And that's why I'm somebody that constantly has do not disturb on. I can't handle it with a constant ding, 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 ding. This guy is screenless, so it's not trying to be a mini phone on your wrist. And I kind of like that. So the health data and the apps. This is the part that I think is so different than what all of the other gym bros are talking about right now. Since I specifically timed this during a week where I was on my period and I was traveling, I wanted to see how this little guy was gonna handle all of that data. There was one morning on my trip where I just felt completely leveled and just exhausted. And the app basically said,
here is exactly why your body is exhausted right now. Girl, you're in your luteal phase. You had a heavy travel day. Your sleep sucked.
It laid it all out for me in real time first thing when I woke up that morning. My Apple Watch has never done that, not once. I've had this thing for years and it treats my cycle like it's a scheduled event. The Fitbit Air made it feel like it was treating it as part of its core data. So honestly, if you've ever just woken up and then wanted somebody to tell you exactly why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, this did it for me. finally, we must talk about battery life. Because in my opinion, this is where things get absolutely ridiculous. I charged the Fitbit Air once in the 14 days that we were using it. I want to say it was day 7. Meanwhile, my Apple Watch over here was dying every night, needing that little magnetic puck. Like, I really do think that I charged my Apple Watch a total of 9 times in these 14 days, especially on those days where I was more active. We need to talk about which one of these actually wins and which one I'm still wearing on my wrist today. So it's been about a week since I ended the test for these, and here is my honest opinion. No BS, just me telling it straight to you. I'm gonna say this again. If you are completely locked into the Apple ecosystem, you rely on Apple Pay, you send text messages from this thing, you want a screen, cool, I get it, stick with the Apple Watch. The Google Fitbit Air is gonna feel like a true functional downgrade if you switch. But if you want a tracker that factors in your cycle, your real life stress, and puts it into your daily health picture, I think the Google Fitbit Air is really doing something special. So if you're somebody that has been eyeing the Whoop but hates the idea of paying for another subscription for something, this is literally the answer. $99 flat, and you can pay for the Google Coach, but it's only like $8 a month. And that makes a huge difference for me, for my life, my body, and the questions that I ask about myself every single day. The Google Fitbit Air surprised me, and that is why it is the one that is on my wrist still every single day. I do switch over to my Apple Watch if I'm going on a walk, or if I pick up a shift at Amazon because we're not allowed to have phones there, then and it just looks ridiculous if I keep trying to do both, you know, like I'm not gonna do that. So I wanna know what side you guys are on in the comments, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them the best that I can, but again, I'm just a girl who was curious about the Google Fitbit Air. If this connected with any of you, I do have a video that's coming out next week about traveling with ADHD, and I think that one will hit a little bit different. So don't forget to subscribe, stay curious, and we'll see you guys in the next side quest.